Like, comment, share. Tell your people about it. Y'all know what it is. It's the smartest dumb people.
See, man, when you get that type of money, he clearly sleeping with other people. So, like, this is a story.
This is the best podcast in the city of
Thank you.
I'm not pandering.
You know what I'm saying? And they take vocals and, script and they
start living on Tupac. You're a real hustler, huh? That's pretty neat. Into it.
But I also met with
Team, they know she likes to go outside, play soccer by herself. We have to make sure. I want to change it like Snoop Dogg. He's an icon in all facets of life.
biggest icon in the world.
But
I feel like they cheat stupid. They gonna get caught. Yeah, they cheat with their dick like we cheat with our mind. I feel like
no more. But before I let you explain that, I want to show a little clip of a little monster.
I'm on Pandora, YouTube. I'm on the students and everybody. Carl.
I'm trying to find.
It is what it is. Finally, we went to Rodney Kemp.
There's two cats. No, you can hustle them anyway. There's two cats in high school.
This is the coldest fucking thing that's going on. He's the realest niggas out
Yeah, you already know.
Like, for real. Like, this.
God, I go off the mentality of the woman, and I know if I know my woman.
What, Kelly?
Let's go! Welcome. This is the smartest dumb people, and I'm the host, Anthony That Dude Johnson. And always is gonna be somebody at this table with me. Today we got a special guest in the building. She goes by the name of Moss Lady. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you, Moss Lady. She is one of our sponsors. Shout out to LB the Great, my brother. Listen, this is Freestyle Friday, Smartest Dumb People. Make sure y'all like and share. Tap in. It's going down. But before we even start the show, we got to make sure we pay our bills. Shout out to our sponsors, Moss Lady. She sells the best sea moss in town. It got 92 minerals that you do not receive in regular foods. It helps with hair growth. I just had to shave my beard today, so it's definitely helping with that. It helps with your stamina, your energy, your gut, all these things. Make sure you check out Moss Lady. She got jars to sell. Shout out to Glitter Bombs. They specialize in personal gifts, tumblers, cups, anything you can think of she can make. They can make. Anything you can think of, they can make. Make sure you check out Glitter Bombs. We'll be right back with y'all.
I've been talking.
All right, so like I said, shout out to Moss Lady. She specializes in sea moss. She got the best moss in town. It has 92 minerals that you do not receive in regular foods. It helps with gut health. It helps with your hair growth. It helps with your energy. It helps with your stamina. It's an amazing thing to have. I take it every day. Shout out to Glitter Bombs. They specialize in personal gifts, tumblers, T-shirts, anything you can think of, they can make. Let's get straight to the show. How y'all week been?
been a busy week for me. I'm tired. I'm ready to relax tomorrow and sleep in.
What about you, Andy?
Man, mine has been lackadaisical, you know what I'm saying?
I must say,
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Leland came dressed to impress today.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Bella Ruth came on.
This is the first time I see you in a full outfit, I'm just being honest with you, in about 2 years.
Come on, man.
You normally got your Jesus sandals on and a
I didn't have these for years, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm like got a tear. I'm gonna fuck up.
You must have got paid or some shit, cause you smiling,
No sir.
you glowing.
No sir.
It's payday.
I've been glowing.
Man, I'm broke to the motherfucker. It ain't payday for
Pause
me.
though. Pause.
I'm broke to the motherfucker.
Pause.
let's get to the show. First topic.
It's starting already. The dynamic trio.
Let's get straight to it, man. First topic. Tyler Perry comes out and say women should be able to date men even though they make less than them, and they should be okay with it. Let's watch the clip of Tyler Perry saying this shit, and we'll have the conversation. Let me make sure everything is right.
Women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
but that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe.
What you thought? That's the actual clip, man. So
Fucking up the show. Okay,
right,
my bad.
You good. So that's the actual clip, man. And I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's a partnership, so it shouldn't matter who makes the most money. Let's start with Moss Lady. What you think?
I agree with what he said to an extent. Okay, a man has to bring something to the table. So there's a lot of stay-at-home dads, and that's okay. If a woman's extremely successful, he's letting her pursue her career. That's okay. Also, throughout your life, there's always gonna be ups and downs, right? Sometimes you meet a guy and he's not doing so well, but by the time he finished college or he get his business going, he might make twice as much as you in 5 years. So by the time you're pregnant, now he bringing in all the money. So it's just really, it depends on the love. If the love is there.
Repeat what you
What
just
I
said.
No,
Sometimes you meet a guy. So,
there you go.
if this stuff is equal, everything is 100%. You know what I'm saying? If men's supposed to carry the weight, women's supposed to carry the weight. And so, if or even if we create a narrative where we have women believe
Can
in,
you speak up a little bit?
yes sir, even if we create a narrative where women believe that if they meet a man that doesn't have a job or doesn't have nothing, then he is somehow beneath her.
In the financial.
I wouldn't date someone who just doesn't have a job or doesn't want to work or doesn't bring. I can't take care of a grown man.
Right.
I'm not doing that
Right.
ever again. I've done it before when I was in my 20s, and
But
because we're young
you
and we're
got
all in
kids?
college and we're
You got
trying.
kids?
Well, yeah, I have a son.
You got kids?
Yeah, I have a
So
son.
you got stipulations to your relationship.
Well, I do now
So
that I'm
somebody had to
41
accept
now.
it. That's fine.
When I was 20, I might have dated somebody who don't got nothing because we are all just trying to still build. But to be
Someone
like a
would have
40-year-old
to accept
man.
your son, right?
I wouldn't date a 40-year-old man with no job and nothing to bring to the table.
But someone would have to accept your son.
My son gonna be a baller. My son
We ain't
just
talking
wait.
about that.
My son
I'm
gonna
talking about
be very
you starting
educated.
a relationship and building a relationship.
I'm not
with
against
someone.
dating someone who doesn't make as much as you if they got potential. But if they're just gonna be a bum their whole life, I'm not gonna take care of
What
a
if
grown
you're gonna be a
man.
baby mama your whole life?
I
Should
was
you
never
be
been.
excluded?
But I was married when I had my
Should there be
son.
a group of men that think they're better than you because you have a son, and if they want to date you, then they have to accept your son.
They do. Absolutely.
Okay, so then, tying it back to
But they
this.
probably got their own kids. We gotta accept each other's
I'm gonna
kids.
land.
Hold on. You got something to land?
I'm gonna land. I just want to tie it back to this, because now we're creating a narrative where women should somehow feel inferior to men because they make more money, and don't look down on them, because we can look
He's saying
down
don't
on
look down
everything.
on them. He's saying don't look down on
He's
them.
saying don't.
Yeah.
But then, I don't even have that opportunity.
Well,
You don't even have that choice.
well, men are known to society as providers. And if you're not the main
So-
provider, or at least meeting the woman 50-50, it is a problem. And it should be.
I think
And
it
what
was like in
lies?
the it was to like it was like 68. Or like, I'm not sure exact year, but in the 60s is when women even were first allowed to have a job or to buy a house. Women weren't allowed to own their a person could refuse to sell you a house just because you're a woman.
Right.
All up until just like recently. There
In
wasn't even
18
like less than
BC,
50 years
women
ago.
was selling themselves.
So were men. Men
And
was
so
selling
women
themselves
was
too.
making money
No.
off sex.
No, they wasn't. They was in.
Are you
They
telling
were
me
in
that?
whorehouses where the madam made most of
You're
the
not
money and
telling-
they got
Oh,
pennies
no,
just
ma'am,
to survive.
No, ma'am.
So-
We ain't even talking about
Well,
those
we're talking about
terminologies.
70s and 60s and
No, ma'am.
No, we're
Why
talking about
start-
now.
Why start there?
I know a lot of men that are
Start
bums though.
everywhere.
But time out. I know a lot of men that are bums. I got
Hell
a lot of
I know a
them.
bunch.
Yeah, I got a lot of them that live with a woman, don't pay nothing, that don't do. I don't. No,
It's
no,
not
I'm saying
cute.
this. I don't hang around
What's
them,
not cute?
but I know.
Gentlemen, it's not cute. Okay?
Why?
Don't be that way.
How?
Okay?
But the
Yeah.
woman can be that way?
A woman shouldn't be that way either. We're living in
Why is a
a
woman
modern
that
day
Why is a woman that way?
America.
I don't know a bum woman.
Households need
How
to.
do you know a bum man? You don't know a bum woman? I know plenty of women that don't work.
What do they do?
They bums.
They're on Social Security,
I
Section
was
8.
just like men. I was and not even talking about the social systems that they got in place for systems all across the world, because without those systems, nobody wouldn't be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? But I know women that don't work.
I do too. I know
How
both.
do they survive?
They bum women.
How do they survive?
I don't
They-
know.
so
How do
then-
the bum man
I'll
do?
give you an example. I
How
have
do
a
the bum
friend.
man survive?
She's been on. Look, I have a friend. She's been on Section 8 for like 15 years.
She should stay on it forever.
She gets like food stamps,
should
Medicaid,
stay on
everything.
that
She has
shit
3
forever.
kids, right?
That's not a bum to me.
Listen,
No.
she doesn't do that. She goes to school. She's got more than enough school to be getting paid like $40 an hour. But she
Mm-hmm.
just only wants to work 5-6 hours a week or something just so she can keep her
Yeah.
benefits. And
What's
then
wrong with
and
that
then
stuff?
her man, who is not on paper living with her,
Yeah.
but he pays all the other stuff, and he has a business.
That's called being systematically
Yeah,
trained.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but that don't make her a bum. That's called a person that's
Are there-
systematically trained. Sometimes people get caught in a situation where they become a product of their environment. I was one of those people that was.
She's not though.
At 20 years
She's
old,
not, though.
I tell people the story all the time. At 20 years old, I was on Section 8. We was on Section 8 for 2 years, and we had our son, and I didn't want to get off Section 8. Now, like I said, kudos to my kid's mother. She was like, hell no, we getting off Section 8, we getting married, we doing all these things. She definitely put the battery in my back to make me a better person. Thank God that she gave me the drive that I needed to get past that, because like I said, there's a lot of people that get caught in this systematic training to rely on the
Everybody
government.
like free money.
Hell yeah.
Who don't like
all
free
the
money?
motherfuckers in Bennington,
It's free
all
money.
the motherfuckers all over,
Yeah.
all the motherfuckers that's living in all them world countries, Kearney, Bennington,
Man.
all them shits, they getting that shit.
Listen, every time I pay
They
for
living
groceries,
on that, son.
I miss my EBT card. That shit
Yeah,
hurts.
and-
Especially how expensive groceries are now.
And I got to say this. If you can get on Section 8, please do.
Why?
Because you can buy houses. You can buy homes. The fact that you just renting, that's just on the surface that we ain't even operating and understanding on. We had a gentleman, Steve Abraham, come on this show and tell us live. If you can get Section 8, please do. Because you know what you can do? You can save you some money put that money in your son's name. When he turned 19, he'll buy a house. You put your Section 8 under that house, and the mortgage will be paid.
Shout out to Big Frank. Let's see
Everybody.
what Brandy said. I gotta read some of these comments.
We not
Brandy said
understanding this.
both should help, and when it comes to one up, they should help. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
But I don't need a man, but I want one.
Right.
Listen,
Everybody
two income household is a win. 3-income household, 4-income household. Like when you can keep your kids living with you for 20, 30 years and they're in their 30s and they still living with you. You know how much that family is
I'm a
automatically wealthy. It's so much easier to
I'm
stack.
a private person.
Yeah, when you
I'm
split bills with
I
your
don't like.
family,
I don't want
Other
nobody
cultures-
living with me.
Other cultures,
yeah,
there's grown
They're
ass
good
men
around,
and women
yeah.
living together.
my culture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
In
like,
other
No,
cultures.
like in Bosnia, all my cousins still live at home with their mom.
Yeah,
like,
how old
even-
are they?
they're like in late 20s, 30s.
Why?
Because they are all splitting rent, they're splitting their mortgage, they splitting their food. They're all saving more money by
Okay, and they all now see now.
if it's done
Hold on.
strategically.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing now. Because
If
if,
it's
you
smart,
have people
yeah.
living together and don't nobody want to cook,
If
don't
everybody's
nobody want
selfish,
to clean,
yeah,
don't
no.
nobody want to do this,
Yeah.
and that's make believe.
Yeah.
You cannot do
it's
this
the structure.
in this in this Western culture, social environment. Your kids think that you owe them.
I disagree. There's a lot of in some families, but there's a lot of families like Mexican families who live
Look,
together.
There's studies.
Arabic
There's
families.
recent studies. I'm mad. I know I got to quit.
Hold on.
There's recent studies that what Leland said is actually they studied it and it has become a real thing. And it's because of social media and all of the things that these kids learning behaviors of now they feel like they don't have to listen to their parents. Their parents owe them. Their parents is obligated to do things for them that they're not supposed to be doing for them. This is an actual study.
Right.
I'm mad I don't have
I
the
got a question. So, and I hate the point. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. So, if your son stayed with you, would it be a requirement for him to pay rent?
No,
Wash dishes.
no. As long as I had it, no. But if I'm struggling,
Yeah,
then you gotta help me out. You're my son.
But then why help
It's
you out?
two of us.
But hold on, time
Yeah.
out. But why help you out?
It's two of us.
Because-
You my family. We trying to
But
survive
the
together.
but if you go off, sir, and live your life and then double back, and then with the help, but you leaving is the help.
No.
Because you may be able to downgrade to a one bedroom.
I don't disagree with that. You like
I
Like,
disagree.
because you have people thinking people owe them something,
You
and
know
they
what?
don't owe them
I
nothing
think-
in return.
I tell you what, my son still lives with his mom. He's 21 years
Yeah.
old, and he makes more money than me and her both. And
My
I
kids
I
live
wish
with me.
And that's what I think is smart. That's how you set your kids up for a
To
win.
do what?
Me moving out at
spend
17
that
on my
money?
own. Oh my God,
You spend
I
that money
struggled for years.
recklessly?
he
You don't
doesn't-
know what it's
he
like
doesn't, though.
to
He
have to
doesn't.
say, well, I'm
No.
not talking about you, but
Yeah,
we're talking
you know.
about millions of people across the world, sir.
There's always two sides of the story.
That's
There's
like
always
you,
two ways
but back
things
to
can
the
go.
point, but back to this, we say that there's bum men, but there's no bum women.
There's bum men and women. Who
It
said
doesn't
there's
make
no bum
sense.
women?
But
There's
if a
bum
woman,
women too.
but listen, it
There's
takes
some women-
time out. A bum woman that's on Section 8, it takes initiative
Why
to
you
fill out
saying
that paperwork.
Section 8?
Time out. It takes.
I'm not saying all women who are on Section 8 are bum at
No,
all.
hell
At
no.
all.
Can I talk?
That's,
Because
I'm
you
not
think
saying
the
that.
white people are better
No,
than you think
no.
the white women out there
I think,
living on
I
that
think
right
Section
now,
8 is
brother.
a great asset to
Right now,
get back
brother.
on your feet when you fall off.
No
You know,
fall
I
off.
definitely
Stay on
feel-
it forever.
Listen, so
That's
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying.
So when I said if a person's on Section 8, you can't call them a bum. Or if a person's on Section 8 taking advantage of the food stamp system and the Section 8 thing, I know that shit takes initiative.
That don't make you a bum. You can
No.
still be working.
No.
You can be taking care of
It
your
doesn't.
kids. You can be
You got
productive.
you got to make sure you meet the requirements, the standards to stay on that shit. You got to make sure you got the paperwork right. You got to make sure your kids is in school.
Yeah.
It takes initiative.
We
right?
gotta identify what we constitute as a bum.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
What is
okay.
a bum?
Well,
What
now-
is a bum woman? What is a bum
What
man?
is a bump? Because now,
A bum man is
because
somebody
hold
that
on,
relies
time
on
out.
somebody
Because
to-
now, the woman have all these excuses.
So
That the man don't.
the man do too.
Nuh-uh. Well, I ain't heard nobody sit up
Some
talking about
man
a
be like-
man on Section 8, a man on
Yeah.
food stamps,
Plenty
a
of
man
men on
getting this,
Section 8.
a man. No,
Plenty of
you
men.
said women, right? And so you strictly thinking about women. Now I don't want to talk for you, sir. Now, but
Don't want to
when
let me
you
talk.
say,
Don't want to let me talk. So I don't.
all right,
I
All right,
ain't
your
gonna do it.
turn.
I'm
Your
sorry.
turn,
You
host.
said, y'all just. I just said
We
like.
got to control tonight. We got to chill out.
No, we boo.
Let's switch topics. Next topic.
We ain't landed
Next,
yet.
but that's fine. Next topic. Young lady comes out and say, why do women expect men to get them expensive wedding ring and an expensive wedding? Why can't they just value the man is committed to you and wanting a real commitment as far as in marriage? Let's watch the clip. We'll be right back with you.
Y'all got men out here thinking, I'm still waiting for somebody to give me a valid reason on why you have to go out and purchase a real diamond ring in order to be worthy of being a husband. I am still waiting for somebody to give me a valid answer to that has nothing to do with being materialistic, has nothing to do about what other people think. Just what is it about having a real diamond? Why is that a requirement? 'Cause I swear y'all be out here acting like your marriage ain't valid if your ring is not real. Now, it's some men out here who just got it like that. They can go drop racks on a damn ring and it won't even faze them. But y'all really need to understand that not everybody has that luxury. And that is perfectly okay. Because baby, the ring ain't gonna do nothing except just look pretty on your finger. And I don't know if y'all been paying attention to these rings lately, but rings that are not real diamond, it's not like how it was back in the day. Some of them bitches look real. They'll sparkle and shine and have you fooled. So you can still have something that looks pretty on your finger without breaking the damn bank. Y'all got men out here, I'm still waiting. Y'all got men out here thinking that they're not worthy unless they spend a certain amount of money on an engagement ring. That's why a lot of y'all be in relationships where you've been a girlfriend for 10 years, wondering why he ain't proposed yet. Because you want a $10,000 ring and a $50,000 wedding. He trying to get his money together. If you would stop being so materialistic and stop worrying about the wrong shit, you you might get a proposal. I saw somebody say, well, I need to buy her a real ring because her family and her friends are going to talk shit about me if the ring ain't real. Like, fuck them. You're telling me that you going out your way to impress somebody who don't even live in your household? Make it make sense. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Make the math because it's not mathing right now. Ladies, I guarantee you could find the man of your dreams if you just stop being so materialistic. I'm not saying you gotta go get a bum. I'm not saying you...
All right, so that's the actual clip, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that is spot on what's wrong with society to this day. And a lot of men don't get married because they can't afford to. I went to a wedding. I was in a wedding. The fucking wedding was amazing. But I know that the only way I'm going to have that type of wedding is if some
You win the
motherfucker
lottery.
come. Huh?
If you win the
If I
lottery.
win the lottery. and I'm also keen on, like, me and my girl talk about marriage all the time. When I have these debates to myself, like, if I propose, do I want it to be a nice, big, beautiful ring, or should I just get her? Because I see those people walking around all the time with just those plastic rings, and I'm like, when you got proposed to, was it a plastic ring or was it a real ring? And then they normally say, no, my real ring is at home. We wear these because the real ring is uncomfortable. I think you should be okay with getting a ring. If the ring ain't real, you can switch it up every year, get her a new ring or whatever the case may be. As long as they got the representation of marriage and commitment on their finger, I don't think it should matter what the actual ring is. What's your opinion, Leland?
Well, again, well, I'm just going to keep it on the surface. The ring is just something social.
But it's supposed to be symbolic, though, too,
Of what?
of marriage and commitment
With
and love.
And with and why.
It's like a possessive thing. It's like you belong to
Love
me and I
ain't
belong to
material.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love ain't material. And so a ring can't represent love when love ain't material.
It
Love
doesn't,
is respect.
it doesn't represent
Love
love.
is being courteous. Love is being understanding. Love is being
No, it's
patient.
commitment.
I can't put that in a ring.
It's
I
a commitment.
forgot who the fuck I was talking to.
I can't put it in a ring.
You know what you sound like? You sound like I'm your girl and you trying to convince me that shit.
No, sir.
Because
No,
I
sir.
believe in marriage.
I believe in marriage,
I believe in
Yeah,
marriage.
I don't have a problem.
And I believe
there's
in rings.
millions and millions of other people
No.
who do not agree with y'all.
But-
so I ain't got to sound like my girl.
No, you sound like
you trying to sound like you. I'm your girl, and you trying to convince me that if you give her a ring, you're gonna behave different.
Well, it's a
I
tradition
don't
thing. I
believe
get
it.
it's a tradition.
You gonna behave different.
It's a traditional thing, right? Getting a ring. It's like
Well-
it's traditional. So that's what our society accepts as a sign
That's
of
a
commitment.
Western culture
It is.
thing.
It's not just Western. It's all over the world.
Because
People
in other
do it.
countries, you got to get goats. You can't.
I
Listen,
think ring is-
you want to marry my daughter? How many goats?
You know what the ring, the getting a
No,
ring is
ma'am.
all about?
Hold on.
Penguins, when they wanna, they mate for life, right?
Yeah, I know
and a
about
penguin goes and he finds a ring, and finds a rock. He finds a very special rock, and when he picks a penguin that he wants to mate with, he goes and gives her this rock, and she checks out the rock. If she likes the rock, they mate. So that's where the whole like I think that's where it
So
started.
from
from.
animals.
Yeah.
Penguins don't cheat either.
The animal on the
Black man
lowest
don't
level of
either.
the food chain. Like, stop that. Ask the lions what they do.
Yeah.
Ask the lions what. Ask the.
I got engaged without a ring.
As
We
the
went and bought the
alpha.
ring later. We did it all
What
the
the
way.
alpha? How do you
We
get
went to the
engaged?
courthouse
How do
and
you
got
get
married.
engaged?
I got married at the
How
courthouse.
do you get engaged without a ring though? Like, was it a proposal?
He got down and he wrote a whole thing and he read
So,
it to me.
what the fuck?
He read me the thing. He was crying. He
funny
had
about that.
tears in his eyes, and he asked me to marry him. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll marry you." Like I was excited. That was my man.
He dragging it out. I
And
was saying
and
like,
he wasn't financially stable at the time. He was actually looking at a case. And I held him down, and he went away for a year, came back, and you know, we had a good little, you know,
How long y'all staying together?
like 4.5 years, but
Hold on.
it didn't
shout out
work
to
out
Miss
in the
Marie. She
end.
said marriage is nothing but a legal binding contract. It has nothing to do with commitment.
At the end of the day, that's true. Because if you're not committed, you can have all the paperwork you want. You can be cheating.
Yeah,
I know
right.
plenty of people cheating that are married,
Right.
right? But there is a beauty when
And
you
marriage.
truly feel that way, and you committed, and you
Right.
go through the process, and then you stick to it, and you lie together. Like I worked for people who had 70 years of marriage. They were in their 90s. They've been together their whole
Yeah.
life. I think their whole relationship was so beautiful how they were together. Like so, I
And
respect that.
I
Shit.
have a homeboy right now that's going through the exact same thing. You feel me? And then when we talk to his dad, you know what I'm saying? Because we'd be around like this, chilling. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, "We went to the courthouse. We left the courthouse. I went to work. She went to work." And that was 70 years ago.
Yeah. And you can always upgrade the ring. You know, the
Yeah.
ring we bought me wasn't that dope. And then like a year or two later, he surprised me with an upgraded ring. And it's, you know, it doesn't always have to be a right away.
Right.
Like
Do you
maybe
believe the ring to be fake? Let's have that conversation. That's a tough
They
one.
all
I don't think
It's
the
all
ring
fake.
itself should be fake because you can get even a silver ring that won't tarnish. So
I
if the
would-
ring tarnishes, that's just like whack. You can't tarnish.
So-
but you can get a gold ring
So
for
now it's about
$100.
the-
You know what I'm saying?
So now it's no longer about the ring.
It's about the material thing, right?
It's about the material. And so, no, you just can't get a ring.
You just can't get one
You
that
gotta
tarnishes.
get-
You can get a wooden ring.
More.
It can't. I wouldn't want a ring that like turns my finger green.
stipulations.
You know.
Why so many stipulations?
Because I don't want my finger to be all green.
So
when
a ring
I want to
is a
wash
ring.
my hands with
Yeah,
my
show
ring.
them that green.
Yeah.
That's a
I
problem.
want to be able to wash my hands with
So
my
when I
ring
say,
without it
honey,
turning green.
I can't afford the ring.
You know? No, but you can afford a
Then
$200
understand
ring.
it. But let's still get married though.
Yeah,
But I can't afford the ring that won't turn your finger green.
you can. Everybody.
But we can still get in this
can
harmony
get a stainless
of
steel
love
ring.
and marriage and understanding and respect.
I saw a couple go on the show and carve their own rings out of like stainless steel or whatever kind of metal, They actually went in there and made each other's ring.
That's
And I
dope.
thought that's real, like a significant, like
That's dope.
they put their energy in it. And it was a cheaper, it wasn't super expensive, but it was their way of like making it significant. So as long as you find a way to make it significant.
There's always a way you have
Yeah.
to show, improve something. That's
And you
my
are
love.
so mad.
Look,
at
showing
women.
significance
I'm
is
mad
not
at women.
going
but
out of the way.
I love women.
Going out your way.
I
You're just
love
lazy.
women,
You
but
just want to
I
be
love
loved and do
women.
nothing for it. Like
Who?
just love me
No,
for
no.
me, and I ain't
I
never
just-
gonna contribute
Now,
anyway.
I
You
just
just
don't-
love me.
I
Like,
just don't understand the fact that the proveness of love is so heavily weighed on men. That's the same way
Proving your love.
we have
still
to
talk
carry
about-
our children and birth them.
What if
What
my
about
unit
that
don't
proof?
work?
That's proveness.
What if my unit don't
That's
work?
proveness.
Then that take away 90% of your value. What are we talking about?
That take away your value. If your unit don't work,
But-
your value.
but you wouldn't
not
know it.
ours. What?
You wouldn't know it don't work.
Well, eventually we
And
would
then
find
the only
out,
thing
wouldn't
that you
we?
were thinking that you provide me a way that you think is 50-70% of your value.
I'm
to
just
me.
saying in general, women give birth to children. We bring life into this world, so we do reserve that due respect. We
Yes,
are
ma'am.
the creators
I
of
agree
life,
with
and I get mad when men
I
don't
agree
give
with
us
that.
that just little bit of like lifting and treat us as sacred, because we're women.
Oh, yeah,
So, and we
sacred.
deserve that respect, but men do too. Good men who know how to love and treat their woman right, they deserve the same respect. They're leaders in the society. They're stand-up guys. I know a few marriages just off of Facebook that like I just love both of the roles they play, the man and the woman. They both play their roles so heavy. Their relationships are beautiful. Kids happy. Everything is blessed by God.
Yeah.
You know, that's the dream, right? That's what we should all be striving for.
All right, so I think we're going to get to the next topic here.
Yeah.
Next topic. He like a CEO of a company. You want to talk about your Alabama topic? The Texas players?
Yeah, well, yeah, we can. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do the Texas players.
Yeah,
So Texas players, after Texas beat Alabama last Saturday, the crowd was making,
definitely significant.
they were making racial slurs and gay slurs. I do want to warn people, the words are a little bit inappropriate. I just wanted to warn you guys. We'll be right back.
You guys are all faggots! Go back to the projects, faggots! Go back to the projects! Faggots! Go back to the projects! Let's go! You guys are all faggots! Go back to the projects, faggots! Go back to the projects! Faggots! Go back to the projects! Let's go! You guys are all...
Yeah.
All right, so at first, I'll go first. At first, I was a little pissed off about the video. But then I had to realize, like I said, on my way driving to the studio, I was like, they was in Alabama, the most racist fucking state anyway. What? You shouldn't expect less. So it also, to me, it also matters on where you're located. Location alone, Alabama is hands down the most racist state. So you should have expected that behavior from the fans. That's not a shock.
Even though
I disagree. I don't care where you at. That behavior should never be acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
It should never be like.
It's just expected.
Yeah, I guess you got to be aware.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like when you really think about where they located, it's not a shock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not right, or I'm not saying it's definitely wrong.
Right.
But I'm saying it's not a shock to me. It happened in one of the most racist states, Alabama.
Yeah, it's not shocking, but
Not at all. They still got to go home by the street.
off-putting.
They still got to go home when the
Yeah.
street lights come on.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's still.
Yeah.
They still have segregated proms.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
In Alabama, they got
Listen,
segregated
listen,
crimes.
not only that, I had family members that came down for a wedding, and the stories they were telling me, I could not believe. I was like, "There's no way it's 2000 goddamn 20 of y'all saying this shit to me."
Wow.
They was like, "Y'all be hanging out with white people? We can't do that." And I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" This is in Mississippi, though. They lived in Mississippi, and they was like talking about how all black people go home by the time the street lights come on because people be still
They
getting
got
beat up. And
towns like that here. Y'all didn't hear about the one where they caught the one out here on 152nd and Curtis? and the dudes kidnapped him, caught him at the bar. It was started calling him racial slurs, and then apologized, and then gave him some shots, and then they drove him off into a cart field.
They didn't kill him or anything, did they?
No, they was. I guess they thought they got arrested. This was on 152nd.
There was on some run shit.
This was like on 152nd and Curtis. Three white dudes kidnapped the black dude here in Omaha, Nebraska. Like 5 days ago, and they charged 2 of the dudes.
5 days ago, like recently.
Recently, 5 days ago, and they charged 2 of the dudes with a hate crime. And
It's so quiet.
kidnapping.
I don't even know about this. They've been
That's
real
the
quiet
point.
about it. Yeah.
That's the point. If y'all ain't here, anybody in the fans that know, pull it up. This just recently happened over. He was at the. I ain't gonna mention the bar name.
Why not?
But because then they may say we doing something to him. You feel me?
There'll be a crowd outside tomorrow. Protesting.
And so, but y'all look it up. Like on 152nd and Curtis.
So what's your
They
angle?
got video
What's your angle
cameras.
on the Texas shit? Because you sent me the topic. What's your angle?
Okay, now to that Texas stuff, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's important tied to the whole Deion thing. And then everybody asking, why
Why
you
these
making
players?
Deion Sanders being successful so racial? Why is it a black thing? You know what I'm saying? Why are the black people rooting for Deion? You know what I'm saying? Why is it he's a black coach? When he could, how come he just can't be a coach? That's coaching in the sport.
So me and Carl was talking on the phone last night, and I said I didn't like Deion Sanders being in the and this is, I'm not being funny when I say this. I didn't like Deion Sanders being in a KFC chicken commercial.
Right,
You know?
you keep saying that.
And the chicken was cheap.
Cheap chicken?
Cheap chicken. Cheap fried
It
chicken.
reminded me.
El Pocho Loco?
No, it reminded me of the moment in They Clone Tyrone.
Yeah.
It reminded me of They Clone Tyrone when Jamie Foxx was like, "Look around, nigga!" Like when they was eating the chicken. Did you watch They Clone Tyrone?
Dog.
You have to.
Man, listen, man.
I started watching it and I just
Couldn't
got.
get into it?
I mean, it was just. I watched maybe the first 20 minutes and it was just like it gave me like negative energy and I just was like I need to relax and go to sleep. I'm gonna be mad all day tomorrow if I watch this.
Yeah.
So sometimes I protect my own energy.
There's certain movies that I'm sorry.
That live with you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut y'all off. There's one movie I think everybody should watch.
What is it?
Just Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
I love
I might watch that with my girl tonight.
I think every person
Yeah, Do the Right Thing is a
in
classic.
the world should watch.
I agree.
It's
Just
spot
Do
on.
the Right Thing.
It's spot on.
Listen, there's so much shit going on there, and we was watching that so young. We had single mothers with the baby daddy fucking with another woman. It was so much shit going on in that movie.
Yeah. The old bum that had knowledge nobody wanted to listen to.
Nobody, because he was drinking. Like y'all say, y'all don't want to listen to old Lee. Y'all better listen to me.
So you were all drunk at the show?
That's what they say. I really don't drink that much no more. I really don't drink that much.
I think this is the soberest show I've ever seen you on.
He just took a shot during the fucking clip.
Still,
I don't drink that much.
last two shows he was way more lit.
He just took a shot during the clip. He's talking about she ain't. Oh, you bugging.
Hating. He trying to take my flowers. No way, Damu. Look,
I'm
give me
scared
my
to drink with him. I'm a drinker, but I
Hold on.
refuse to drink.
I'm not
Belarus.
a drinker. I have
Belarus.
like one or two and I'm drunk.
Belarus.
I don't
I
really
can't
drink.
drink
I don't
with
really
him.
drink.
He makes me want to have a drink, but I
Give
wait
me
till
my
after the show.
Say it again. Give me my flowers. Let her say it again.
Say what?
What you just said?
What did I say?
What you just said?
I don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about?
No.
All right, Ken.
All right.
All right, so let's next topic. Let's talk about this. A CEO of a company came out and said that we need to make unemployment worse, and people don't want to work. They They lazy, they don't want to work, and corporations need to start acting as if they don't need the employees. I will be the first one to tell you, I do struggle with keeping employees. I do struggle with grown-ass people that don't want to work. It's kind of weird. Let's watch the clip and we'll have this conversation. This is going to be a good conversation.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided that they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance. I think the problem that we've had...
I must say, there is a lot of arrogance going on in the employment
world.
Yeah, because I get frustrated. I got so many people that say, hey, I want a job. They don't show up for even the interview. Like, I've never been that person that if a person is going to offer me a job, don't show up for the interview. Yeah. If a person is giving me opportunity to work, don't show up the day I got hired, don't show up the next day. I definitely think, don't get me wrong, we're living like the Great Depression. They calling this the silent depression. And it's because people don't want to work because the money that they're making, they cannot maintain a home.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm making the most money with my girlfriend that I've made with her since we met. And it's just like we still struggle.
It's because everything's overpriced. Everything's so expensive. I said this on a post the other day. Somebody posted how expensive everything is. And I said, we need to systematically boycott certain brands until the prices go back down. Because this pandemic allowed people to double the price on everything. All the corporations, it's the greed. It's the corporate greed. It's so I think we are going to enter like a change though. They're gonna max it out. People are gonna get so tired that people are gonna just start going straight to like the locals that are making the stuff for the right price. Like people are coming to me for the sea mosses because I'm giving it to them at a better price than if they order it online. Mm-hmm. It's gonna start going back to that, I think, in the next decade or so, because people are tired of working for pennies, never have nothing of their own. You buy a house, now you're paying these high ass taxes on the house that you already bought. Like, it's just like you don't see no end where you can just relax and like feel like we made it, which was American dream in the 90s was attainable. Now it's like we just work and work, and it's just like bill after bill, and you just can't get nowhere.
I work 130 hours every 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And I still struggle. It is a lot, and I still struggle, and I'm at the point where I'm on what you on. Like, I would, like, for example, McDonald's. Not really to talk about food chains, but like McDonald's went up on their prices with no warning, no warning, no nothing. I just went to McDonald's the other day, and a cheeseburger cost $3.99. Mm-hmm. That's nuts.
Right.
Like I used
a meal is $15, $16, $17. You can't even afford to take your kids to McDonald's no more. It's like crazy. But we shouldn't. We shouldn't be taking them to McDonald's anyway. Because they're greedy. They put poison in our food, and we should boycott them. We have to get smarter. It's going to go back to educating the community to start navigating differently with their money.
Right. I don't want to use the poison in the.
Yeah,
I'm speaking poison. Yeah, for sure.
I tell my son it's poison. Like, my son will pick up a cereal. Can I have this cereal? I'd be like, nope, there's poison in it. I'd put it back until we find a cereal that doesn't have artificial ingredients or corn syrup or something that we don't like.
To me, as good as that is, I think you'll go fucking crazy to live that way.
You don't. I don't go crazy. Why? I don't go crazy. I just identified the brands that don't put poison in their food, and then I just buy that every time. I just stick with those brands. Like, once you get off artificial flavor, the artificial flavor stops tasting good. Because once you're addicted to it, everything you taste it. And then you get on cereal that doesn't have artificial flavor.
Give me a cereal that doesn't have artificial flavor.
I go to Aldi. They have a few, but like for instance, Fruit Loops used to have artificial flavor and artificial coloring, and they switched because mom started boycotting Fruit Loops for that reason, and now they use real vegetable colors and they don't use artificial.
So again, this is the problem with reading. The problem with reading is we really believe a fucking machine, like a corporation like that, like they just changed the words. This is my opinion. This is why I'm like, I wouldn't go crazy. I'm not telling you what to do.
No.
I'm just saying, like, there's no fucking way that a corporation big as Fruit Loops that's been selling Fruit Loops since the beginning of time, all of a sudden people are complaining about artificial coloring. They just gonna take
They
the
lose
fucking
sales.
word. But they're
It's not
just gonna
complaining. It's people stop buying it. It hurts their money, their pockets. Then they
Right.
got to switch it up. But as far as their integrity goes, honestly,
That's what I'm saying. But you're asking the company that already didn't have
like an
integrity.
evil company that puts artificial flavor in half of other products. They decided this product doesn't have. Yeah, should we trust them? No, we
Well,
shouldn't trust any
That's
company.
my point. That's my point.
I totally agree. with
So
you.
when you say
Yeah.
at first I wasn't eating Fruit Loops, but now they took the I don't believe that shit. I'm not just because Fruit Loops was that.
They put something else in that
evil.
might be
Yeah, I'm like-
but my son likes to have some type of cereal. I got to.
But that's what I'm saying, though, so-
I do my best to at least, as far as I can
I don't
trust
believe- I
that
don't believe in
nutritional
words.
label. I do think they
I
are
don't.
regulated and they do have to
Because
adhere
they
to
do have
certain rules.
recalls, though.
I don't believe in words. man.
Recalls are only if it's going to make you sick.
That's like when they say naturally grew. I don't believe that. I believe that there's
say
some
who?
like when a
naturally grown.
Yeah.
Oh, organic, and all that. I don't believe
That's what I'm
that
saying.
stuff. I don't believe none of that
Okay, let me
stuff.
tell you how organic works, right? You have a farm. A guy from the FDA comes to certify your farm organic, right? He comes once a year, inspects your farm, and leaves, right?
Right.
For that week, you can have that farm perfectly. I don't know if that's the type of testing that they do. I'm sure there is, that they test for like synthetic pesticides. But one thing that people don't know is organic farms still use pesticides. They just use organic pesticides, and a
Right.
lot of
That's
times
what I'm
they
saying.
use.
It's a word.
They use twice as many. No, but there is a difference. There is a difference with synthetic pesticides and regular and organic pesticides. Synthetic pesticides are worse. They're worse chemicals for us, like DeSantos, which is really bad. Like that's what.
That they just started dropping laws. Well, been dropping lawsuits for it.
Yeah.
But again, who's playing that game? Who's in the farming market? Who got the farm?
Well, Gates got half the farms.
You know
So
what I'm
we're
saying?
fucked.
And so,
We're really
again, you know what I'm saying? When we get to talking about
The economy.
the gains, the economy, that's just like, you know who I blame for the economy? Everybody who accepted that $1,000 a week stimulus, knowing your ass didn't work, knowing you
We
shouldn't
couldn't
have got
work.
it.
I did. I
knowing
got
you
it.
shouldn't have
I
done
got it.
I
You know,
accepted it
good for
too.
you.
Hell yeah.
That shit boosted